I think most people felt there were a lot of things similar about the teams, and that Vancouver definitely could beat Calgary, but expecting a tough, long series, which it was.
We had established a major rivalry against Calgary, obviously from previous playoffs that were 7 games. You know, notably the one Joel Otto kicked in back in, I guess it was in 80, 88, 89.
Jyrki Lumme with a good job to come up with it. Hands it to Roberts. He shoots. McLean picked it out of the air. Running, knocked down as he played it to the boards. Roberts shot. Good glove save by Kirk McLean. Adams hustles to the puck. No icing. He wins the race for it. Now it comes back to Babbage. Shoots, scores! Dave Babbage drilled it from long range.
The Canucks win the first game 5-0 in Calgary. And Mike Vernon, who had won a Stanley Cup in Calgary and was from Calgary, was getting a rough time in Calgary. He doesn't seem to be that popular at that time, and they really jumped on him after the first game when the Canucks won 5-0, and Kirk McLean gets the shutout, and people were starting to blame the Calgary goaltender.
They shut out Calgary in Calgary, 5-0, and it really looked like, here we go, this team's on a roll, and then kaboom, the series turned in a hurry.
Just seems things weren't going right for us. You know, it just wasn't. We weren't getting breaks. That we played pretty well, but it just wasn't happening for us.
Vernon turned it around and played very well in games 2 through 4. In fact, 2 wins in Vancouver. And so when the series went back to Calgary for Game 5, by that time, Calgary, up 3-1, appeared to be in full control, and I think most people, including fans in Vancouver, expected that 5th game in Calgary to be the Canucks' last playoff game of the year.
You know, down 3-1 against a good team, a second seed like Calgary, I mean, backs against the wall.
Calgary finished way ahead of Vancouver in the standings that year. They had a very good hockey team. But what the Canucks accomplished was magical. It really was.
They're a good hockey club, and we'd seemed to have made it a habit of coming back, even in the previous years leading up to '94. We'd always seem to get down in the first series, whether it was Winnipeg or Calgary. We'd always have to fight our way back from a 2-1 or a 3-1 deficit. So it's not something that, you know, I would like to see done all the time, because it's a lot of energy that's being used up. But fortunately, this series seemed to work in our favor.
I remember talking to Pat Quinn. The team was down 3-1 in the series. And I was asking him how he felt about the hockey club. What was the matter? And he just kind of shook his head in disbelief. And he said, you know, I just might have to rip this team apart. We might have to go in a new direction, because this was the 3rd year now. Big things were expected in the playoffs of Pat Quinn's Vancouver Canucks.
Our team really felt at the time that, you know, we've been together for a while as a team, and we could either throw in the towel, or we can all come together, and everyone realized that everyone play at their best level. We had a guy like Pavel Bure that could score, play hard, very gritty around the net. Linden, McLean, Babbage. You go right down the list of all the players, Adams and Courtnalls, Jelena. Here's another player that really wanted to prove himself and punished his body by going to the net. And you know, I really think that everyone really gelled together as a team, and we knew talent-wise we weren't as good as some of the other teams, but as friends and as a team that would compete when the chips were down, we were definitely one of the better teams I played on.
Another interesting story, the team was down 3-1, and I remember the players. They were really down. They were low. I mean, let's be honest about it, down 3-1 against a division rival who's a very good hockey team. And a great story, Glenn Hanlon, Mr. Optimism, always upbeat. He went through the dressing room, and the players are kind of getting their gear on and everything, and he said, takes 4 games to win a series, guys. You know, they thought about that, and that's what it does take. And then it started.
the mindset is you need four wins to win the series, and anything can happen. And like I said, that core of team, the core of that team that we had done it before, where we'd been down and came back and won the series. So there's no sense of panic. There can't be in playoff hockey, because you get down at, again, one shift at a time, one period at a time, and just puck away, and to see where it takes you.
The biggest thing, and I remember Pat focusing in on it, was let's don't look any farther than the next game. And I think to regroup everyone and not seeing that we were down a couple games in this series, let's just go out and kind of chip away at it. And I thought that was a real turning point for us as a group, that we knew we were down, but we were close in some of those games. Do we have that little extra as a group? And I remember players saying, yes, we do.